pilgrims in an unholy land.
Donnie Rizzo, episode 5. What's going on, player?
Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you, man.
No, it's always good to see you.
Yeah, I'm flattered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's funny we just talked about your boy Joe Gale. Last week when I heard about all the protesters out front of his house, I was
How
like,
about that?
yeah, I was like, dude, if people start protesting in front of my house, like, I don't know what I, you know what I mean? I kind of thought about it.
I would handle it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Go out with you got two options, right? You either get the hickory stick, the bat, you come out with that and just be cool though, or you just have the gun in the back, right? And
I can say I can say now what I would do, but when the situation actually presented itself to me, I'd be like, all right, what's the best way to handle this? It may be just to sit in my house,
Yeah.
But I might walk out. I really might.
Yeah.
I might just say something and just smile.
Yeah.
I don't, because at that point, they're trying to. I guess they're trying to impeach him, and I don't think they actually can. Okay. You can't set a precedent for impeaching somebody for free speech. You just can't for your First Amendment. And they said something about his statement being on a certain letterhead. Like, get the hell out of here with this nonsense. How much are we going to concede to these radical leftist assholes?
What did he said something like.
He said he gave a statement about the protests and the rioting and the looting.
Oh, then
he said that radical leftist groups like Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Okay, I got you.
Then he called them hate groups.
And then they showed up to his house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, God, you can't the people that we're not allowed to have freedom of speech. Just the left.
Yeah.
So not nobody conservatives. I thought the statement was fantastic.
Yeah,
I thought he was dead on. Because, he basically echoed my sentiments and sentiments of a lot of people in Montgomery County. So, it's just it's radical left. It's the radical left versus everybody versus anyone who has a difference of opinion.
Yeah, I feel like
I can read this here.
Yeah.
I can read the statement. Let's see here. I love it. I thought it was fantastic. Let's see if I can pull it up. Where is this? Is a while ago now, I think. So.
Probably let me think.
Here it is. I don't want to read the whole thing, but he's talking about the rioting and the protests, and he says the perpetrators of this urban domestic terror are radical left-wing hate groups like Black Lives Matter. This organization in particular screams racism not to expose bigotry and injustice, but to justify the lawless destruction of our cities and surrounding communities. Their objective is to unleash chaos and mayhem without consequence by falsely claiming that they, in fact, are the victims. That's money. Statement's money. It's just right on, in my opinion. And I fully support that, absolutely. Yeah. For years, our policemen and women have been demonized and degraded by the radical left as a result of this defamation and character assassination, as well as complicit media constantly pushing the bogus narrative of systemic police brutality and white racism. Law enforcement is afraid to do their job of protecting innocent people and their property. This statement's money in my estimation. So you get the idea of what he said and why the left would be up in arms.
Yeah, I can see why they have that. Yeah.
So that's.
It is the left can't expect to. They say things and then people come out and kind of defend those statements and kind of walk shit back and kind of like that whole defund the police thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they want lawlessness.
They come out with this broad statement. They say defund the police, and then a bunch of people come out later and say, "Here's what we mean by that," and they kind of break it down like we're talking about the reallocation of funds. They make it out to be okay. We're going to give the cops a little bit of a break, actually. And hire social work, just set up a community where cops aren't the only resource.
Okay, so when you defund the police and perhaps take away, a certain number of officers, this, that, and the third, where's the crime going to increase the most?
Broke neighborhoods, pretty
much. Exactly, broke neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the people that are going to get hurt by that.
Yeah.
And when we have lawlessness. And like I said, during those rioting and the looting and everything like that, and somebody hits a CVS, they steal all the drugs out of the CVS, the pills and everything like that. Where's that? Where are those pills going? For the most part,
streets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay.
The
left just wants complete and utter lawlessness, like Biff's 1985 and Back to the Fucking Future Part 2.
Whatever.
That's the comparison. That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what the radical left wants. They want Biff's 1985.
Yeah, when you said that, I kind of like that. Like that's an awesome reference
because it's money. It's dead on. And anybody who's listening, like Back to the Future Part 2, watch it. You'll know what I'm talking about. There's a scene where they go back to 1985, but it's an alternate 1985, and the I don't know. I guess the villain in the movie has come to power and has taken over, and it's basically how we're living now. It's just what the left wants. It's complete lawlessness.
Not to like change gears? Didn't he? Didn't they take like a sports almanac back to the past?
Yeah,
he found out all the sports deals and he knew what to bet on.
Yeah, exactly. All you have to do is bet on the winner and you'll never lose. Yeah, that's a great quote. I'm gonna start wrapping things up with that. All you have to do is bet on the winner and you'll never lose.
Was that from the movie? Or
it's the main quote from that movie. It's great. So it sums up the whole story. All you have to do is bet on the winner and you'll never lose.
Yeah, that's like 50% of the time. It works every time. It's like those guys.
Yeah, when you have the sports almanac, though, it's gonna work 100% of the time. That's the idea.
I just think that just a dude named Biff. That's just funny. You know what I mean? It's just a hilarious reference. Like Biff's 85.
I'll tell you what. I never saw that guy in too many other movies. I know he's a stand-up comic, but I'm not familiar with it. But like that guy, I mean, like look at that. Look at that series. He had to play young Biff, middle-aged Biff, Western Biff, crime boss Biff. Like that dude just. How many different Biffs was he? It was just that guy was fantastic.
Oh shit!
Western,
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen those movies. Too,
I know.
He was the bad guy in the West. He was the bad guy.
Yeah, he was the same. Buford Mad Dog Tannen was Biff. It just
Buford. Yeah. That's funny.
Fantastic. What a trilogy.
Comedians are great for that shit too. Like whenever there's a movie that's kind of like lighthearted like that, you can get a comedian to come in and just kind of play some goofy, jacked up role.
Yeah. That's one of the best I can think of. One day I'm going to do stand-up comedy. I'm sure. I just want to go somewhere and I'm going to be pelted with eggs and tomatoes and lettuce and walk off the stage triumphant after,
Do you? So you're thinking about like maybe starting with open mics, that kind of deal?
One day I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go up and talk and just let it fly and then see how many people protest and walk out or how many people get a kick out of it. I could do it.
Yeah, I think about I write bits when I'm just like in the shower doing other shit. Like I think a little like, oh yeah, that's fucking good. I have no intention of ever being like a stand-up comedian though.
I always saw myself as a little bit of a stand-up comic, so I see like the jokes that the leftists make, and I just am like, okay, I'll give you the conservative version.
Yeah,
I don't call myself a conservative, you know what I mean, but I'm a Republican, so I'll give you. Let me put it like that. I'll give you the Republican version of it. So that's the stuff that I say.
Yeah, that's what Dennis Miller did.
I love Dennis Miller. I saw Dennis Miller last year at the or maybe 2 years ago at Parks. And I love it. He finished with this one, and it was fucking fantastic. He goes, "Trump should get a bumper sticker that says my other plane is Air Force One, motherfucker," and dropped the mic and walked out. Yeah! Oh man, that was so great. My other plane is Air Force One, motherfucker. That's great. That was one of the best lines I ever heard. I would love to see Dennis Miller again. He's fantastic. I used to watch him when I was a kid, and I guess I got it, but he was just really intense with those opening monologues.
Yeah,
and one of those, and that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I use that to this day. So if I ever say that, like that's my nod to Dennis Miller. I love Dennis Miller.
He's got early on when I seen him, he's a little confusing because he mixes metaphors up a little.
Oh yeah,
he makes these obscure references.
Yeah,
but like if you know him, you're like, okay, I got you.
Some of the times I don't. I mean, a lot of times I don't know what his references mean, but I get the context of it.
You get the gist of it. Yeah.
He's fantastic. I recommend anybody. Well,
I think he did the last hour I've seen him in was called All In. I don't know if he's still doing that or if he has a new hour.
When I saw him, he was prepping material for I guess some sort of special. So it was probably a lot of the stuff that I saw him do, but he was fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Stand-up's my shit, man.
Yeah.
Who are your other guys?
I have a very short attention span, as we know.
Okay.
I watched the last Chappelle special, the one that they panned because he was, I guess, too, he wasn't liberal enough. Yeah. That was the last one I watched. I've seen Rogan. I saw a couple of Rogan's stand-ups that.
Rogan's been getting better, by the way.
I saw one of them that I didn't like at all.
Yeah.
And then I saw him in person and I liked him. I thought he was good.
Yeah.
My problem with Rogan is, and this is just my critique of his.
Yeah, I think I know where we're at.
My problem with Rogan is this, and he's a tremendous commentator for UFC. He's enthusiastic, and he's the analyst. He's wonderful, right? Does a great job. I respect him for having his podcast, and he's so successful. Yeah. I mean, he's got his supplement line. He works hard.
Yeah.
I know he's very diverse with the way he works out. He does kickboxing. He lifts weights. He runs. Lays in the fucking hippie tank or whatever he does. And all his drug shit. Like, okay, cool. Like, I have a lot of respect for the guy.
He really does everything, doesn't he? Like,
yeah. My problem with Rogan is, and it's just this. Like, if you as far as Trump goes, you either like him or you don't like him, right?
Yeah.
And if people who say like to act like that they're on the fence, not act like they're on the fence. Well, how should I say this? You either like Trump or don't. Rogan has defended Trump enough times and said enough complimentary things about him that you can tell that he's a Trump guy. You absolutely can tell, but he doesn't have the fucking balls to say it because he's afraid, because I guess he's worried. He's extremely established, and I understand that, you want to toe a certain line and maybe pander I get that, but anybody who listens to as much of his stuff as I did, unless I've missed something, like, I think he's a Trump guy, and I don't respect that he doesn't have the fucking balls to come out and say it.
He did publicly, I think he was in favor of Bernie at some point.
I think they asked him who would vote for in the Democrat primary.
Yeah.
I think that was the question, because when I heard that, I was like, let me hear what this guy has to say, because there's no way this guy who makes this much money is going to vote for a fucking socialist. It's just not. And pay all your money in taxes. Like, get the fuck out of here. What are you, stupid? Now, maybe he's a smart guy in some areas and dumb in the other, but I highly doubt that. So that's when I think the question was, who would you vote for in the Democrat primary? Yeah. I'm not positive, but okay. I mean, fine. I guess he has to answer that. Again, he's playing to some of his audience too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think that I would toe any lines. I think I would say what I felt. Yeah. And so that's just the thing between me and somebody else.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand the business of it, but at the same point, that's where you lose someone like me.
Yeah,
which doesn't matter because he's got enough people. Like, I'm just one person.
Yeah, and his podcast, it has such a diverse audience that, like, some people might stop listening and tell him off of it, but he'll still have tons. You know what I mean?
It's number one podcast.
Yeah, it's got such a broad base that, like, there's people on both sides of the aisle that like him. You know what I mean?
Here's me sitting. I'm like, I mean, what do I matter? But I'm just saying,
I think he actually, you know what I mean? Because he's definitely, like, he's deep in the psychedelics and he's that dude. So, like I dabble in some of that shit in my life, and it's like afterwards you're kind of this hippie, like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean?
It's just from fucking New York or some shit or Boston. Like,
he's from Massachusetts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like ton of respect. It's extremely hard to be a success, and that guy's a success. So that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
But if you have my opinion about his content, that's my issue.
I got you.
So, what the fuck do I matter?
Yeah. Well, hey, man. Yeah, we all got an opinion.
Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
No, go ahead.
Right. I think with Trump, it's like, with regards to Rogan, whatever, it's like especially this year and really in 2016 too, it's kind of a repeat of 2004, right? Because like back in 2004, you had Bush versus Kerry. Mm-hmm. And Bush, he was like, everyone kind of knew he was a dumbass, you know what I mean? They seen his gaffes and all this shit. They really made him out to be an idiot, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember even back then, that was the first time I was eligible to vote. And I'm like, on paper, I should be down for Curry because, you know what I mean, my policy ideas fit that. But I'm like, I can't vote for this weak asshole. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it just becomes by default. I think that's what we're seeing this year is, hey, man, we got Biden. He's not really coming out strong for anything. And it's like...
and he has dementia.
Yeah, the whole nine.
And he's a pervert. Yeah. He's a creep. He has no idea what the hell he's doing. He can't get through a sentence without slurring through all of his words. He tried to lick some girl's hand the other day at a rally. Did you see that one?
Oh, God.
That was fantastic.
That does surprise me.
He's such a creep. But the thing is, he probably has some sort of mental issue. Here, I'll play it for you right now. There's something wrong with this guy. Watch. So a girl is speaking at the podium. She just says something enthusiastic. She puts her arms out to her side,
Yeah.
And he's standing there and tries to lick her fingers.
I can't stand this.
He's an incredible creep.
Yeah. Man.
There's something really wrong with his brain that he can't process. That You know what I mean? Like, where is he?
He must between.
There's something right now. He's definitely, what do you want to call it? Cognitive issues? He's got, something's wrong. Like, he's fucking 78 years old.
Yeah.
He can't, he gets lost in a sentence, doesn't know what he's talking about, repeats stuff. He's fucked without a teleprompter or when they don't give him the questions in advance.
Yeah.
He was on with that bitch from Morning Joe the other day. What the hell's her name? Mika, the one who came to Trump's Mar-a-Lago and her face was bleeding and Trump said no, they can't come in. That ugly bitch. And she has that feud with fucking Scar. He has that feud with Scarborough and her. And he was on with her the other day. And it doesn't get more radical than MSNBC. And he couldn't get through an interview with her.
I saw about half of that because I was interested. I'm like, all right, man, how's the left going to justify this whole Tara Reid thing? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, and also you've been talking, so I'm like, let me see if he's really 100% all the time fucking his words up.
And what did you find?
The half that I saw, I was like, okay, he's defending himself. He's not bumping into too many coffee tables. You know what I mean? Like, he's all right, But yeah, you keep seeing him in these different clips. And
oh man, you didn't see the clip that I saw on that show. Then I mean, I watched the whole thing, but there's the one clip that they brought out, and he can't answer a question. She's asking how about the records from the University of Delaware, and he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And she's like, what? She's even struggling with him, and he's a mess.
Yeah. I give MSN.
That's what he's doing.
I give MSNBC props though, because they didn't just softball him. You know what I mean? That was like a 17-minute interview or something. Yeah, I was just like,
was it really? Because the last I heard, he had a limit of 12 minutes, and they weren't letting him go because they know he's got problems.
Yeah.
They were limiting him to 12 minutes because they were like, we got to get this guy off the stage before he says something stupid.
Yeah, I think the clip was 17 minutes. And, after his initial statement of I don't know nothing about this, I'm good, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck.
He fell apart after that.
And then Mika was like, all right, well, I'm going to ask you this in as many different ways as I can. She made it clear, we're going to clear this up, either way. Because we are a shoo-in for the left over there, so it's you got to say something. We're going to, you're not going to be able to get through this otherwise. You know what I mean? It's 04 all over again. It's all right. I'm not a huge fan of Trump, but you compare to the other guy, and he's, you know what I mean?
Trump's fucking strong.
Yeah, it is just strong. Yeah, it's just strength.
Listen, I'm not trying to win you. I'm not trying to win you over to go along with what I said. But man,
no, I'm with.
I think Trump's fucking strong. I love the guy.
Yeah, I feel like on this thing he kind of wins by default because look, I'm down for liberals, but first of all, the Democratic Party hasn't been liberal in a long fucking time. You know what I mean? They haven't been. I don't know. I think they're the left policy that I want to see. They just don't deliver.
Well, we had the Muslim for 8 years.
Yeah, even him. All he did was this milquetoast.
He was
Affordable Care Act.
Bought and paid for puppet is what he was. So, who happened to be black or whatever he is, and he spoke very well and was cool and charismatic and Bathhouse Barry. Guys, if you want to hear a great story about Obama, look up Larry Sinclair. Obama's boyfriend from Chicago that would ride around the limo with him and smoke crack and do drugs and perform sex. They performed the sex act on each other and everything like that. Bathhouse Barry.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is.
But my thing with Obama is that when he won in 08, he spent all his political capital on getting the Affordable Care Act passed. And after that, it's just been all right, well, he wanted to expand protection for whistleblowers. He did the opposite. He said, fuck Ed Snowden, fuck Julian Assange, fuck, what's her face? The guy that turned into a chick. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Can't remember the name.
With the footage,
it's okay. Continue.
The dude who later became a chick, what he did, I don't know if you remember, but he took some footage from an AC-130 where they were shooting journalists. And he burned it to a CD, wrote Lady Gaga on it, mails it to Julian Assange.
Oh.
So then after that, the military was all right, we can't use removable media anymore. Thumb drives, DVD. You can't have some kind of policy like that. It's going to be slower, but we're going to get around it.
I have to be honest, I didn't pay, from the years he was in office, Obama, 08 to whenever, till. Yeah. I mean, I didn't pay a ton of attention to politics. I had a lot going on in my life at the time, and I don't remember a whole lot. You know what I mean? I remember some things, but not much, so. Yeah. I mean, broad strokes. With me, I mean, I just know I just know he was very anti-police and pro-Muslim terrorist and all that. So that's and some other things.
I mean, not him himself, but the SEALs did kill Osama bin Laden under his watch.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And then, like, before you know it, Bin Laden's buried at sea, and we don't want to make a martyr out of him. Like, one day when I get time, I want to look into that because that just smelled like a rat from the get go. Oh, Bin Laden's dead, and he's already been dumped into the fucking ocean. Yeah, okay, sure, all right. That just doesn't add up to me. But again, I need to look into that a little bit closer.
There is a weird thing where I think all the SEALs that were on that mission, I think they're all now deceased.
They whacked them all.
Maybe.
That's amazing. I need to look into that.
There's a guy that grew up. He was friends. We were cruised with the same people. This guy Michael Strange. He was one of the SEALs that went in. And nowadays his dad he lives in Philly and he gives speeches about like we want to know why this helicopter crash, like some helicopter crash later, that kind of deal.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I think my buddy was telling me there's some plane that they bought called the Osprey. It's a weird little kind of helicopter thing. And, like, it functionally is dog shit. Like, it just doesn't work. But it's like, so many people die every year just because the thing just wasn't engineered properly. But they bought a shitload. So now, like, all branches use it. And so I'm like, maybe that's it. But, yeah, man.
We had our politics wrap up for segment one, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's pause for commercial break, and then
right here.
We'll be back in a minute. You're gonna have to carry this one today, kid. I'm not feeling that good.
Stay tuned for your sponsor message from such and such.
Joe's gonna get you a doctor.
I swear to God, this topic's been on my mind for like a hot minute, right? So, like, you know how you...
A hot minute, huh?
A hot fucking minute. You know how you're
coming in hot, brother.
Dude, you know how you're dating a chick, right? And, like, she's got a best friend. Like, you know those chicks that just, they operate in pairs and shit? Like, they're each other's...
You'll have to enlighten me. Continue.
I got you. So, like, I used to date this chick from way back. And, like, they're just tied at the fucking tit all the time, and they're, you know what I mean? They're just all fucking giggly.
I see you with the slang and the expressions, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
attached to the hip would be the term I would use.
Yeah.
I guess that's the white man's version.
Maybe.
Of this. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, like my girl now, like her best friend's, like, I'm okay with her, you know what I mean?
Your girl now, and you're going to talk about this, and you get yourself in trouble, huh?
Yeah, I'm
all right. Hey, listen.
But, like, her best friend kind of gives, like, this shade of, like when I first met her, she gave me this look. I just felt it. Like, oh, you're the fucking doofus that she's going out with. You know what I mean? Just the whole, like, she almost laughed right in my face. She was just it's one of those deals. And it's like, yeah, like her, she's okay. I'm not, you know what I mean? And maybe I'm just older and I know to just avoid the best friend nowadays. But, like, in the past, I've had these fucking, like, just this, you know what I mean? Just a basic shitty vibe that their best friend will put off and that kind of shit. And, like, this chick I dated from way back, her and her friend would get together if us three were hanging out. Like, they would start bagging on me. You know what I mean? And I remember one time I got so fucking mad. I'm like, yo, y'all need to shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my alley. But, yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah. But it was just like, I don't know, man. Like, best friends, a chick's best friend, like, sometimes they're just kind of toxic in their life. And then when, like...
Well, there's a lot of jealousy.
Yeah, it's a jealousy thing, right? It's like...
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we're tight. And I think it happens in reverse, too. Like, I remember one buddy got with this chick, and I was like, I wasn't shitty towards her, but I just knew, okay, this is not my friend anymore. Like,
yeah, when I was a kid, when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
I mean, I had times where I was like that.
Okay.
You know?
Like, you would date a chick and then kind of...
like a couple of my friends' girls. Like when I was like real young. I mean, 20.
I got you.
Because I grew out of that.
Yeah.
I stopped, like, hating and being jealous or not, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, when I was legitimately was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, some instances of that, but not since I, like, came into my own as a human being. I started to understand myself, and, like, I haven't been jealous in 20 years of anything.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was a kid and I was a little insecure, but now.
Yeah.
Not now.
Back in my teens, like my boy Jimmy, I set him up with this girl I met at school, and we didn't see Jimmy. Me and the crew didn't see Jimmy for like a whole year.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, every day he was, you know what I mean. And then one day, like, I guess he was in trouble with her or some shit, and he was on the back burner. So he rolls into my house like while we're having a party. I'm like, oh, Jim, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
What's up, me in the doghouse now? Yeah, fine. And we just rag on him all night over that shit.
Sure.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that shit was fun. Like, just this whole, just that dynamic of, like...
I think when you get older, or at least for me, you become more accepting, and you learn to just worry about yourself more than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the move.
But I'm sure when you're a little bit younger, it can be like that. But I mean, again, I'm 38, you're 33, so
yeah, we're kind of past.
I've got 5 years. No, but I got 5 years on you, and like I said, like I'm nowhere close to this. I'm much smarter and much more calm and more secure than I was when I was 33. I think I was pretty secure then. But point being, I'm not gonna worry about this stuff.
Yeah,
like I can exist on my own. And I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
You know, maybe back then I needed this. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Just to the point where I'm just very accepting of other people's lives. At this point, people are married, and so it's not really an issue anymore. But when you're younger, you know,
Even back then, it was like my boy Mike. He dates this chick. They're still together now, and like no one can stand her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like even back then, I was like, I just was nicer all of a sudden because I'm like, all right, that's my boy. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go down that route with her? To me, that's weird, but I'm like, cool. You know, that's your decision. I support my own boy. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, they laughed at me when I first started on that shit because it was like, yeah, we see you acting fake just to be cool. And I'm like, no. I'm just past it. Yeah. You know, like, I told him it wasn't a good idea to date you. He's doing it anyway.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I'll roll with it. You're my girl now. We're cool.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you.
Yeah, it's just fun.
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah, dude, it was like a couple weeks ago, it just dawned on me. And it wasn't a big thing to me a couple weeks ago, but it did remind me of all that other bullshit. Like, God, chicks are goofy around each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. There's just a lot of jealousy, and you need to just you need to understand how to play situations. And I just don't want to be like a lot of it. I don't want to be involved. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm just so used to it that I don't even pay. Like, I don't pay.
Yeah, it's so second. It's elemental.
And I don't care. Like,
like when I see the best friend now, I give a wide berth. I'm like, you know what? I'm not fucking with you. Y'all want to hang out? Cool. I don't. There's no. I don't die on that hill. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just such a like. I've been stung a few times, so I'm like, I ain't going there to be out.
I feel you. I just wouldn't put it over. Meaning, I wouldn't give any attention to it at this point.
Yeah.
If I was in a situation like that, I don't think I wouldn't give them the time of day or entertain anything to do with them.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
That's a dope way of living. Like
but like I'm not in that situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm not in that situation.
You don't give it the time of
day. Like hypothetically, if I was to like start seeing somebody and the friends hated me or whatever, I'd probably be like, you know what, I'm not.
You would even take the initiative, like, you know what, I see your girls are throwing shade my way. Why don't we talk when you're?
I'd be like, I'm out. I'm just no.
Yeah.
I cut them off.
I got you.
And I would.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not putting up with this.
It's a preemptive cutoff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And I'm not trying, dude. I'm not trying like you know, like most situations like in my life I haven't I don't care enough. I'm just not gonna deal with that.
It's a super strong move too, because you do that, and then the chick might kind of be like, you know what, all right, cool, we're cool. You ain't gonna see them no more. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd most likely I'd be out and I'd just be done with the girl. Like, I'm not gonna hang out with.
Yeah,
I would, and it's like, no, you know, like, I'm not. If you're gonna go for that, then I'm not putting up with this shit.
Yeah, that's a strong fucking move.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, so there's.
No, I mean, strong. That's a good.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, so there's one situation in my life.
Yeah.
There's one situation that I have put up with an enormous amount of shit, right?
Okay.
So it's all used up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have it for any other situation.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Yeah.
And that's why.
There was a chick.
Well, that's not. I mean, it's not why, but like for real. Like, it's no, I'm not.
I think I can relate. There was a chick I was trying to hook up with, maybe 6-7 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And we hung out. We did a little something. You know what I mean, it didn't end up working out, but I wanted it to work out. Mm-hmm. And by the end of it, I was just like, oh, I drove myself crazy over this fucking chick. You know what I mean? I've just gone so far beyond, and I'm just so overextended that by the time I just came to, like, I guess I had to come to my own ego and say, all right, dude, you lost. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I did. I was just like, all right, I'm beat. Like, this is not a battle I'm gonna win. Like, this is not that. You can't apply.
Well, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yeah.
Know when to walk away, know when to run.
Oh, yeah.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There's plenty of time for counting when the dealing's done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that song way too late in my life.
Yeah.
I stuck with it, and I was like, nah, 'cause I'm the shit. Yeah. I'm just used to that. I'm just not used to hearing that. Like, I'm a winner. You know? So but yeah, by the time I kind of maturity set in, now I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, like the tank is empty, so I just meet chicks halfway. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm here, like, shit's cool, we're good, cool. You know, I just don't extend it like that the way on some level you look at it like I don't have the passion that I used to.
No, that's also true, because that happens.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, you lose a little something, but you also gain all this, like, calm and clarity. And, you know,
I don't need this shit.
Yeah,
I don't need this.
There's 4 billion of these chicks out here. I don't need to be, you know what I mean, losing my shit over one or the other or the third.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say anything hypocritical.
Yeah.
But, you know, so.
Yeah. Let me ask you,
Go ahead.
Oh, you keep, all right. Yeah, when did you, I was thinking of this shit myself. When did you figure out, like, did you have a moment with chicks where, like, all the rules clicked in all of a sudden and you just knew how to kind of, like, handle yourself?
Me handle myself? No. For real, like, maybe the past year?
Okay.
Maybe the past year, like, because I put in a lot of effort into growing as a person, and being more secure with who I am and knowing who I am. So, like, I still don't, like, anytime you think you think you got it, you don't. Yeah. But I'll just say this, like, I'm more comfortable now than I've ever been.
You've noticed, like, growth.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I put a lot of effort in it.
I got you.
I did a lot, just like anything else. I put a lot of practice, a lot of work into it.
Yeah, it just pays dividends.
So yeah, so I'm more secure and more confident in myself and more relaxed than I've ever been. Whereas I may have been emotional before or reacted differently, and Yeah. But no, just you keep growing, man. You can. So
I feel like when I know when I started off, like when I was a teenager, dude, I was dog shit.
That was a fucking catastrophe. Like, whatever.
I didn't know how to say. Like, I knew dudes. Like, my one boy. I mean, the first time he fucked a chick was like 6th or 7th grade or something.
No, we're getting X-rated here.
Yeah, like
Christ almighty.
Dude, he was like in a janitor's closet at fucking school and shit. And like he told me that, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I always kind of followed. He would give little advice here and there, and I'd be like, yeah, this dude knows his fucking shit. But yeah, like all through my teens, like I stumbled my way through like trying to get pussy, right? And then like everything that happened between maybe like 18 to like 25 was all by accident. It was all me like trying to do something, and you know what I mean? Like I just got lucky.
Okay.
I remember this one. I was at this nightclub in 2014. It was the night prior I got banged up. So the next day I woke up and just kind of ran out the door, went to this concert, right? I'm sitting here at the bar. I looked to my right, and there's like this kind of couch in the club or whatever, and there's just like nice chick. You know, she has she's not like a rave slut, you know what I mean? She was like nice looking and shit.
Rave slut. Wow, there's more terminology.
Yeah, that you know what a rave, you know what I mean? Like with
I'll figure it out, but go ahead.
They be wearing nothing and they got bracelets and shit. Anyway, I see this chick, I'm drinking my shit. I see her, I'm like, and something about me just the day after drinking
your shit. It sounds like you're drinking that scissor that the homeboys in the ATL drink out of the gas can or whatever it was.
I kind of miss that. Like I missed the boat on that shit. Like with the lean, like the purple drank.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Purple drank. Jesus Christ, all that hood shit.
That shit actually sounds kind of great, but I know.
No thanks. I got enough problems with booze that I need to put any of that. Yeah. I've actually been good. I haven't had a drink since Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping it light.
Thankfully.
You know what it is? It's like you either got to go all or nothing. For me, anyway.
No, I don't like. I mean, I really don't like to drink. It just happens from time to time. Yeah. But I've had a strong week so far.
That's good. Yeah. For me, with drinking, it's like if I have 2 or 3 drinks, it ain't more of it. It just slows me down.
Same thing. Yeah.
It's
either, if I have 2 or 3 drinks, it turns into 10. So.
Yeah. For me, it's either stay sober or just go fucking ham.
Anyway, go back to your club story. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. So I see this chick, and I'm like, it's the night after getting banged up, so I'm kind of, when you drink and you kind of feel, you wake up still kind of, you're feeling loose, you're feeling smooth and shit. That's how I do anyway. I see this chick, and I'm just like, I better go hook up with her. So, and this is still me just No game, just trying throughout my life. I swear to God, I sat down next to her, like, decent distance. I looked at her, I'm like, I just put my hand out like that. I'm like, I'm Sean Donnelly, how you doing? And she was like, hi, I'm Michelle. I said, Michelle, you are the most beautiful girl in this club. Like, I said it, like, real believable.
Oh, good.
And she was like, oh my God. And then I leaned in and started kissing her. And she kissed me back. And we hooked up for like a minute.
Good. It's a lesson.
Yeah.
It's a good move. It worked.
Yeah. And that was the moment for me where all the shit clicked in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It took me so late in life to realize, just come up confident and smooth and just, you know what I mean? And since then, it's just been just Homer at the... If me and a chick wake up, I never miss.
No, good.
Yeah. Prior to that, dude, it was a fucking mess.
I can legitimately say this. I have zero regrets with anything that happened, and everything that ever happened has brought me to where I am right now. Yeah. And I like the position I'm in right now, and I'll do the best with it. Yeah. You know, it's as simple as that. Like, I'm good.
I'm with it.
I don't regret any relationship that didn't work out. I'm happy. I'm legitimately happy that they didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
I'm so full of regrets.
I have none.
There's so many.
I have one regret in my life is I blew the Flyers Cup championship game my senior year of high school.
Oh yeah,
and it was pretty much my fault. And I was it was a fluke basically. That's the only regret that I have. Everything else I'm fine. Everything else happened that brought me to where I am. So one of the things you said, like when you have things all figured out, it's sort of like in the moment when you want to do something and you're like God damn it, and you're pushing for it and it's like, no, I need to fucking do this now. And then like a couple days later something happened and it's like there's a reason that didn't happen at that time because it just comes full,
Yeah.
Like, it's just amazing how things work out. So you have to, in the moment, realize, like, let's say me and you need to have a talk about something, right?
Okay.
And you're not available for a few days. And I'm like, dude, I need to fucking talk to you. Right?
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, when, like, something happens and brings us together, it's like, it wasn't, whatever, maybe whatever was happening in that time where I wanted it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there was a reason it happened 3 days later, 4 days later. So that's just like that. That's why like I've been able to be more calm and confident and secure with everything.
It feels like in life, whenever you're chasing, as soon as you start chasing something, it starts running away.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Like if you just stand there and don't chase anything, everything comes to you.
Joe's gonna get you a doctor.
We had to take a cat break, guys. So this is why we're back. I take care of a bunch of stray cats, and one of them's sick, and I'm trying to get her to the vet. And I have tranquilizers, but they're not. They know the tranquilizers are in the food, so of course she hasn't eaten enough of the tranquilizer to put it down because they're too smart.
I was at the mood; they get the sense like,
they know. I try so hard to help these cats, and it's exhausting, is what it is.
Yeah, it's a nice thing, dude. Honestly, like it's kind of inspiring that you're like, hey, I'll take care. There's like 6 cats in this house, right?
Yeah.
Like that's super cool.
Well, thanks. I try.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not a cat expert. I'm not a vet.
Yeah.
I do the best I can. I really want to help that cat, but it's just what the hell can I do?
Yeah. Dude,
I told my vet, I've been texting the vet. I'm like, listen, they know the tranquilizers are in this food.
Yeah.
What you got? Give me something that'll knock them out.
I feel like we need like a pair of oven mitts, right? And then just don't be afraid to just.
I'm not, but like you can't catch the cat. Yeah. That's why I'd do it, but
like it's in the room now. It's like, all right. Later, we just want minutes. I'll grab the towel. We'll just make it happen.
We'll see how it works. Yeah.
Just all right. We got to brute force you in there real quick.
Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
Doing the best I can.
Did I ever tell you? I forgot I told you about when I took a stray cat in way back.
Yeah.
Did we ever go over that? Okay.
I think you might have, but
we had at some point there was 3 cats in my apartment. Right. I had this spot over on F and the Bully, and there was this neighborhood cat that just it was like known, like my one neighbor knew about it, like it broke into his basement at some point. And I would feed it out back, and it was still summer by the time I moved in. Then when it started getting cold, I let it in.
Good.
Oh my god, come in. It was just kind of like what's his face, Dum Dum, like white and black kind of look. My friend used to call it cow on the gate. And one time we was hammered, and she saw it on the fence that it would walk up to come to the house. She was like, cow on the gate, and I didn't have a name, so I was just like, that's fine, right? But so this cat was cool. It was kind of like that gray cat where like I used to wear these long sleeve shirts, and they had these chunky sleeve portions. And if I held my like arm up like this, like up to it, it would just lunge up and just bite my wrist. Yeah, it was one of those like it was cool, but like it would do that. Like if you just came at it the wrong direction. I had this cat. I swear that one weekend I went to AC. I forgot to feed it and let it out. So by the time I got back, I was like, "Oh shit, my bad." So I started leaving the window open for it. Anyway, it gets a little nicer out. One day I come home, there's 2 cats in my house. One's one's it's the original shitty one, and the other one's like super cool. And I'm like, I guess I have 2 cats.
That's how it works.
And then one day there's a 3rd cat in my house. Like I have 3 rooms in the 1st floor of the apartment. There's 1 in each room. Like holding down the 4th. I'm like, y'all gotta get the fuck out of here, man. Like I kept the original one for a while, and then it was nicer, so I was like, see ya, you know. But yeah, that was super fun. Like I love cats. I don't really fuck with pets though, you know what I mean? But yeah, it did feel super nice to like. I think maybe I bragged about it too much. I was like, I got a stray cat, man.
No, man, that's okay.
Like,
you're doing a good thing.
No, I mean like at that time and now, like, like even back then, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal. I take care of a cat.
That's good, man. Hey, listen, you're doing a good thing, like I said.
Yeah, and cats are the cool. To me, they're the coolest animal because they're smooth. You know what I mean? They just kind of roll around. They don't really. Even like this one, Dum Dum, when it rolls up, it's just not up. It's not like a dog up in your face and looking. It's just like, hey, what's up? Came for a little love. What's up? You know? It's just I like that style on an animal. You know?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of cats.
Yeah,
just the way it worked out. You know?
Yeah.
What
the fuck was I gonna say?
What is our next topic?
A while back, you were asking me what I was reading. I told you I wasn't reading anything. I accidentally lied to you though. I'm currently reading the Unabomber Manifesto.
Oh, heard it's great.
Yeah. It really is. I'm reading it. I'm maybe a 4th of the way through. It ain't even that long, right? But the guy,
I can see you being a big Unabomber fan.
Yeah. The dude was.
I'm a big OJ fan.
So yeah.
You could be the Unabomber, could be your guy.
I have this new fascination of like
blowing shit up.
Yeah, let me dig into these weirdos. You know, like that's just kind of. I'm reading the Unabomber Manifesto, dude. I swear to God, this dude's so ahead of it. He was so ahead of his time.
That's a good way to look at it. Ahead of his time, I like it.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it already.
He was kind of like a Luddite, right? He was like an anti-technology, automation, industrial, all that shit. He was against that because he had this idea of like what it did to humanity, and he's so insightful on that shit. I'm like, yo, he's actually kind of spitting truth.
I'm sure you can learn something. I know he was a very smart guy.
Yeah, and he even had insight into like nowadays we talk about the far left and like their bullshit.
Yeah, me all the time. Yes.
Yeah. Some of that stuff that stuff that I just noticed, last decade, that thing got published in '96, and like he was mentioning that kind of stuff back then too.
Really?
Yeah, like you and me back in the '90s, we weren't like I don't think we had our.
Well, in the '90s, I was like,
we didn't have our finger on the pulse. Like we didn't know what the zeitgeist was talking about, you know. But yeah, it was kind of the same deal. Some of the stuff you and I observe in culture today, like kind of like left society. I mean, in '96, this guy was talking about the same shit.
So he was ahead of the game.
I think so, yeah. It was either that or they were just doing that. Like, it's just been something because it was, you know what I mean? Because we weren't paying attention back then. It was just something we didn't notice. But, like...
Oh, yeah. I didn't start paying attention until I was 30.
Yeah, he started talking about like white activist types that are like they're so like he called them out. He said, "Hey man, they act like they're cool with people of color and they're all for this, that, and the third, but they're kind of like assuaging their own like white guilt and that kind of shit." You know what I mean?
Boy.
Yeah, and
white guilt, Christ Almighty.
Yeah, and I read it. I was like, "Yo, the dude kind of, like he knows his shit." It's so weird. So I'm finishing that up.
Well, I'm glad you found someone you can look up to.
Yeah. I just think this weird material, like these kind of people, anyone that writes a manifesto, I'm
Well, when you hear the term manifesto, it's usually linked to
it's someone who's
something big.
Yeah, if it's to do with a manifesto,
the term manifesto is
it's 80%.
If you have the word manifesto linked to you, that usually says a lot about your accomplishments.
Yeah, there's an 80%
what you ultimately carried out.
Yeah, I wonder if manifesto writers, if they refer to it as a manifesto, like is it just something we just like. To them, it's, hey, here's my feelings on life and society. And then I was like, throw it in the stack. There's a whole stack of manifestos somewhere.
Oh, my God.
There's this dude I found out about recently. He wrote a 1905 page suicide note.
Wow. Yeah. You got a lot to say.
Yeah, the table of contents it's 3 pages long. Yeah, it's a table. It's like perfect.
He has a table of contents for a suicide note.
Yeah, it's
now, who was the gentleman?
I forget the guy's name, but if you just Google 1905 suicide note, like 1905 page, yeah, it's just a publicly available document. And I started looking at the table of contents, and it's the same deal. It's a manifesto.
We don't have a cough button here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry.
Yeah, it's this guy's whole idea of society and why it's fucked up and why, you know what I mean, like why it's been bad to him on some extent. But like I get the sense due to the thickness, like the volume, like, oh, this dude just he's just gonna give his perspective on the world. Forget what it did to him, you know, and why it led him to that. But like, hey, here's my dudes, just sit down and start writing about the world at some point. Like, here's what it is. Here's why it's fucked up. I don't know. It's kind of fascinating.
I guess they need to get it out.
Yeah. I was gonna read Mein Kampf last year.
Yeah, interesting story. A friend of mine posted something and said, like, let me know if you're reading anything. And a friend of mine wrote Mein Kampf. And apparently there was caused this big fight between the two of them.
Okay.
But I don't see a problem with reading that. I mean, it's history.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have a copy of it under the table over there. And I mean, I read a couple chapters, but it's not an easy read.
Yeah.
My struggle.
Yeah, my struggle, yeah.
Exactly, my struggle.
Yeah.
So I just was like, when the person called me, and they're like, oh, dude, like, I shouldn't have, oh, well, you know who it was. I was like, I shouldn't have, like, oh, I made a big mistake. It's like, no, what if you really were reading it? It's history. Here's one thing about like Facebook and social media, like, if you don't want answers, don't fucking write something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm. Like you're going to get mad at somebody for writing something like that.
Yeah.
I don't agree. And the person who originally asked the question is one I have a tremendous respect for.
Okay.
But like maybe because of the source of the comment, Mein Kampf, that was more of the issue than the actual statement. But like history. You're reading history. That's what Mein Kampf is. It's history.
Yeah, it's a piece of history. It's
exactly what it is.
Yeah. I was gonna read it because I started reading this book. I was talking to this chick. She was putting me up on all these lame ass books. But I was reading them anyway. She put me on The Book Thief. And that's about World War II, Germany. And they mentioned Mein Kampf a bunch of times. I'm like, I gotta read this. So I go to pick it up, right? And I find out it's over 700 pages long. And I'm like, look, for Hitler, I'll give 300 or 400 pages. You know what I mean? I'll see what you got to say. 700 pages, 8 something, my guy? Like, that's a little bit lengthy. I'll read things of that length. Not Hitler shit.
The longest book I ever read, I read Steinbrenner's autobiography.
Steinbrenner?
I'm sorry, biography. What's the difference between the two?
Autobiography you wrote on your own.
Okay, I read Steinbrenner's biography, which is really long. I read Have a Nice Day by Mick Foley, which is like 700 pages. I read a couple other books that are 700, like that.
Yeah.
But that's up there. But my thing about Hitler is, right, in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, he had a tremendous theme song. Do you remember it? It's so uplifting. Here it is. I'd like to walk out. Listen to it. It's so joyous. What an entrance this guy makes, right?
Yeah. We can make that some outro music if you want.
I love it, yeah. Listen to the music. Listen to it. It's Hitler's entrance music. So, I had a conversation with a friend of mine that a certain one of our friends should enter a wedding to that theme song, but you don't. But I said, listen, I was like, play this, but don't tell him what it is.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like an inside joke between them. Later we'll tell him, like, it would have been perfect.
Oh my God, that was.
And he was like that would end the ceremony right there. Yeah. I said, no, don't tell anybody. Don't smarten anybody up. Yeah. Because he'll come out and be like, yeah, great tune. Like, and maybe somebody will be like, wait a minute, I recognize that. And then they would get the joke because it came from me. But
they hear it, they're like, that's a classic tune. I feel like
exactly, yeah. I go, upbeat, And they're like, so what was that music you played? Oh, that was Hitler's theme song from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. See, that's perfect. That's right in the ballpark for me.
Yeah, I was saying,
that's hilarious.
That's kind of in my new wheelhouse.
If I could write a skit, if I could write like I would do something like that, like a wedding, like a wedding entrance, and the guy comes out to Hitler's music, doesn't know, then later on you're telling him he's really offended. Like, no, Oh man, good stuff. That's my sense of humor right there.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I love that like semi-sick shit. Like it's like we said before, like
it's just funny. Like
it's like gallows humor.
I'm not making light of the Holocaust or anything like that. I just Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and with Hitler, if anybody's seen the movie, the scene is kind of comedic. You know, where he takes the book and signs it and gives it back to him.
Oh, yeah,
It's just funny. Like, it's lighthearted. It's funny. So that's, you know. I guess nowadays you can even have Hitler in a movie. In a movie. Who knows?
Yeah.
We need to forget about let's erase history.
Downfall was a great movie. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I've not.
You know about it, though, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched it just because I saw the meme going around of that one scene or whatever. And I watched it. I thought it was great. It's just him. It's just, it's an accidental dark comedy. Because it's just him, like his hair moving, and just flipping out, like all that shit, you know.
American Psycho is one of the funniest dark comedies.
Yeah.
It's like in Beetlejuice from Michael Keaton, who's Beetlejuice, goes, I've seen The Exorcist 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Like that's how I feel about like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. Like I can watch it and just howl laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, he's getting interviewed by the cop, and he goes, I was at a musical called Africa, Brave Africa. And he asks, he's like, no, it was a laugh riot.
Yeah.
And like the term, Africa, Brave Africa makes you think like it's something like, oh man, very poor, AIDS, terrible, people are dying, and Bateman's there. Like enjoyed, because in the book by Bret Easton Ellis, who should be in a mental institution. Well, in the book, like I think they touch on the fact like a little bit more racism with Bateman than actually in the movie.
Okay.
He only says about Huey Lewis.
That's too black.
Too black sounding. Yeah. And then might have been one other thing, but that's it. In the book, I think they touch on a little bit more. But Africa, Brave Africa, it was a laugh riot. That's just hysterical. Yeah. How funny is that?
Books. Yeah, I think Cruz is saying the same thing. He said the book's definitely worth reading.
The problem with the book was when I was reading it, like they were if they get into a scene. He describes like from head to toe what everyone has on.
Oh, okay.
And it gets exhausting.
I got you.
You know, I'm going to sit down. I read it like 10 years ago, and it was just too much for me at the time.
I got you.
But I think I'm going to give it another shot. But I try to read nonfiction.
Yeah.
Because I try to learn things, and I can't, I feel like fiction's for entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be, but just the way I look at it is I feel like I'm wasting my time. There's part of me that feels like I'm wasting my time if I'm not reading.
Yeah, fiction these days is a little goofy to me. I feel like I really get something when it's, you know what I mean, just based on fact. Like when I was a teenager, all I did was read fiction novels and just tore through them. But nowadays I
can't do it.
Yeah, I can't.
Everything I try and do or watch, for the most part, is I try to learn something from it to the point where I burn myself out. Yeah,
it's gonna be something it's gonna be something grounded in reality.
Yeah, I agree.
I do that, and then I switch on to like comedy that I know.
No, that's good. Well, you can learn something from comedy too.
Yeah,
some of those people like Carlin, they cause you to open up your mind. Like Carlin was great.
Carlin's amazing.
He was fantastic. So so if I was going to watch, like you asked me earlier, if I was going to watch a stand-up comedian and go back through their work, I'd probably hit Carlin. I'm not over. Like I've seen a good number of stuff. Mm-hmm. The Invisible Man Who Lives in the Sky, who sees everything you do every minute of every day. He has a list of 10 specific things you're not supposed to do, and if you do them, you'll go to a place of fire and torture and burn for eternity. But he loves you and he needs money. It's like that, and the Chris Rock, O.J. Simpson. I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand. Those are my two favorite comedic bits of all time.
Nice.
So I'd probably watch I'd probably go to Chris Rock, George Carlin.
Yeah. Carlin,
I do like Chappelle to a certain degree, but I'd have to, I would start there.
Yeah, Chappelle's my guy. Carlin,
I saw Chappelle 2 or 3 times, and one time I got really good seats when he was on Fire in 2006.
Okay.
And my dad got me. It was in the Borgata, and I was very close. And at the end of the show, when everybody was leaving, I was towards the front, and I was going out a side entrance, and I turned around. He just came off the stage, and was there and signed all those people. I was like, "Hey, Dave, how are you?" He signed my ticket stuff.
That's
really nice. Yeah, just because it wasn't, it was maybe 500 people, maybe less.
Yeah.
And so it just was, and nobody hounded him. It was cool. It was really nice. So Jim Norton one time, met him afterwards. He was good. He was really entertaining.
Yeah, Jim Norton's pretty good.
Yeah, he was good.
He's stayed in the upper mid tier as far as comedy goes. But I saw his recent hour. But he's consistent. He spits his. I like him on the radio a lot better.
Yeah, I used to listen to him with Opie and Anthony.
He was doing O&A.
He was excellent.
That's a whole.
The term when the guy when they would tell a story about somebody beating his wife, he'd be like, "Just a little discipline, a little discipline," and that line to this day is one of my favorite. A little discipline, gave her a little discipline.
Yeah, they let fly on that show. That show was freaking.
They were great.
Yeah.
They were great. Those guys ultimately had a falling out.
Yeah. Dude, they would have Louis C.K. on, Patrice O'Neal. Like, those episodes where they're on, dude, it's just great.
Dice was on that show for a while.
Dice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Andrew Dice Clay, he was on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know Burr got his start because they, I guess Norton wanted to
Bill Burr lost me when he started talking about white privilege.
Okay.
He started giving some of that liberal shit. And then...
yeah, he's ultimately a liberal. He'll make fun of both sides, but like at the end of the day, he's like...
I can't get into him. I mean, maybe I haven't given him enough of a chance. But once I heard, like, when he was really spitting some of that radical leftist shit, and the helicopter story is hilarious. I got to give it to him that, where the guy rents the the guy takes over a helicopter business from his dad.
Yeah.
It's like his first day. The guy books a helicopter. They go up thinking nothing of it, and then next thing you know, the guy opens the door, jumps out, tries to commit suicide, hits the water, and doesn't die.
Yeah.
And then I think that's
he dies. He's like, he dies later in the hospital. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's really funny, but yeah, I tried to listen to Bill Burr, but he lost me somewhere along the line.
I like that. I like the comment where he makes about the guy that's piloting the helicopter. He's like, "Oh, over here, you'll see this. Oh, same sheet."
Oh yeah,
yeah,
hilarious. That's great.
Yeah, he does.
I've seen so much shit in my life that I legitimately wonder if I would be even startled, depending on the day it got me. Like if I saw somebody, like I'm depending on what kind of mood I was in.
Yeah.
If I was in a real like gallows humor day, something happened, and the guy like just got up and just jumped out of the helicopter, I might just go, all right. I could be startled, like I could, but it might not even faze me. Like, all right, yeah.
All right, punch his own ticket.
Exactly. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
He did it his way. I'd be like, that's creative.
Yeah.
The car. Yeah. You know. I got what he said about the revolver in the bathroom. I also had this other one where I would go to a building that wasn't too high where you couldn't see me, like where you could see me from the ground. And I'd go up there, stand on the ledge, and I'd wait for a crowd to accumulate, you know?
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would waste these people's time for hours. And I'd be like, you know what? Send up the negotiator. Send him up. And I would have the negotiator there, you know, and I'd be talking to him, and I'd make this guy think. I'd be like, you know what? You've changed my mind. I'm coming in, and I'd act like I was coming in, and then at that moment I would do a backflip off the building, and I would, like a guided missile, go head first into the cement below, and with the goal being, right, of taking a little piece of each and every one of them, the people there with me that day. I put these people in therapy for years after what they witnessed, after me mutilating myself face first like a missile into the cement. Yeah, those were my two ways. Got the bottle of whiskey and the revolver in the bathroom and make art on the wall. Make art. That's how hard a switch I am, or the building. I remember I used to tell the building story with a straight face and not tell anybody I was kidding. And I remember I had people like being like, "Wow, this dude," because I used to do it all the time. Yeah. I remember this one girl was like, "This guy's like, wow," and I'd be laughing on the inside, and I never cracked. There was like 2 years I used to work where I used to work. There was like at least a solid year where I never let anybody in on the joke.
Oh wow!
I was just like, no one could ever tell if I was serious or not.
Yeah.
So and I had fun with it. I had to amuse myself, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. I get tripped up with that shit because I like sometimes my friends, like my friends I don't hang out with anymore, like my old friends. Sometimes they really think I'm serious about shit. Like they feel like I'm really going off the deep end as a guy, right?
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
I don't do it so much anymore. I'm more normal, but I used to blast making people wonder if I was serious or not.
I was hanging out with my two buddies. They're married. They got kids and shit. And like the end of the night, everyone's in bed, and I'm like, all right, guys, I like down some liquor. I'm like, all right, ready to call some hookers.
Yeah.
And instead of laughing with me, like,
it could be a legitimate question.
Yeah, instead of laughing and fucking around, both of them look at each
other. Yeah, we got one on. Yeah,
they look at each other like they're scared, and I'm like, guys, I'm not that far off. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on that.
Well, I mean, for some people, it's a weekly thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a vice, the prostitution.
Be glad I'm kidding.
Yeah,
right. I tried to go on this.
Yeah. And let's do one more segment, and then let's wrap this up.
Dude, speaking of American Psycho, I think Willem Dafoe is the funniest motherfucker.
Oh, it's fantastic. In Boondock Saints, there was a firefight.
Yeah,
one of the best scenes ever.
When he's interviewing Bateman and he's got this smile, he's got that look. Dude, you can look at that guy all day. Just that look, like.
And he plays the gay. Oh, it's wonderful.
The who?
He was gay in Boondock Saints.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Willem Dafoe was fantastic in Boondock Saints, and he was Paul Smecker, I think his name was, and he was gay, and that's why he would make the.
That's why he was so
gay references throughout the thing. Yeah, and he was listening to the music, and it all played together.
Yeah, he was dramatic throughout the whole. He was reenacting the thing.
Yeah.
I kind of do that.
And he was brilliant. Oh, what a great role. That's on my movie characters and performances. That was fantastic.
I haven't seen that in so long.
You should give it a rewatch and watch Willem Dafoe's performance.
Yeah, I'll probably check that out. He was with the whole, maybe it was one guy with 6 guns.
Yeah.
That, just thinking of that scene gives me chills.
I think
That's
the other
so
guy
dope.
said that, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was one guy with 6 guns.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the only time in the movie where someone else was right.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I think he figured it out.
Wasn't he the guy that was like...
I think that might have been the jabroni that was always wrong. It was always like, get me a bagel, an onion bagel, cream cheese, coffee, too sweet and low. I think that might have been
he gave him his whole order.
Yeah. Basically being like, oh, you're a coffee boy.
One guy was trying... Yeah, he was the guy who was trying to light a cigarette, and he's like, yo, if you're going to smoke. And he pulls out his Zippo for him.
Oh, really?
Isn't that...
I don't remember that, but it sounds about right.
Yeah. Have you ever seen this movie? I swear, I know I'm going balls deep on movies. Have you seen something called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Heard of it, have not seen it.
It's a Robert Downey Jr. It was before he did Iron Man.
So was that his Black Tar heroin days?
I think he had just gotten
Clean?
Yeah.
Good for him.
I think it was who was that fucking guy? Jon Favreau?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was he had him in that movie, and then he moved on to like Iron Man shit. That's a dope film. There's this fucking...
I remember hearing about it, yeah.
I'm gonna spoil this for you. There's this one scene where these fucking bad guys are rushing up on him, and he's hanging off of like an overpass, and there's a casket, and like his gun is on the other side, so he kind of like hits it, so the gun slides down, and like he's got to get to it before these fucking dudes come up and smoke him, and he does that. The gun comes down, he grabs it, he swings around, bang bang, he hits this dude. The guy gets shot, and he's like, "Captain fucking magic," and he falls over.
That's great.
It's so fucking like it's just one of those deals. Definitely check this shit out.
Pick one more thing you want to talk about before we go home here.
I don't know. Deal's choice.
I'm good, man.
You got it, man.
Carrots today. I'm not doing good. I'm having my 1 or 2 days a week where I feel like shit. So
I got you.
All right, I guess we've done enough. We've given you an hour today. So the Cruz said it's pretty much an hour of hanging out with me. So
Yeah. Oh, his commentary.
yeah, I know.
Jeez.
All right, well, everybody, have a good week. We'll be back at some point soon, and we'll see what other interesting things come up that we can talk about. Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah,
remember, all you have to do is bet on the winner.